Fortnite updates come in many shapes and sizes, but my favorite are created by accident. Like the story of the armored walls being added was all thanks to a glitch and nobody realizes. You see, many years ago, Epic Games added the mounted turret, but it wasn't the shooting part that made it so good. It was the 5,000 HP.
Okay, we're going now. We're going now.
And
they're done.
It's right. Oh my god, look at them mining out.
They actually can't get out of the basement. This is so broken.
So this gave Epic the idea, what if we let them do it on purpose? And thus, the armored walls were born. And that's only one of the ways fans accidentally created something, because back in Chapter 2, we got our hands on the Gravitron. The thing is, Epic had no idea what people would actually use it for. When players realized they could steal Vault Door off its hinges, it turned into the first bullet shield in Fortnite.
Oh, no. You got Wait, I have like a shield. I just blocked the railgun with that. Try and hit me. Try and hit me with it.
This was such a popular strategy that everyone used it. So 2 chapters later, Epic looked back at this and went, not a bad idea, handing us an official version, the Guardian Shield.
Yes! I am invincible. You serious?
Now, I have no idea why this next feature took years to implement, but when Fortnite released emotes like rock, paper, scissors, fans were desperate to do it with their friends. I mean, the whole point of it was to challenge teammates to a game, and yet they could never get the timing right. Of course, the single emote made Epic realize they could add an entire feature around it, leading to interactive cosmetics. When it came to early outfits like Dark Vanguard and Mission Specialist, their entire design was around the fact they were mysterious. No one knew what these guys looked like. Their identity was completely hidden by their helmets. That's until one day when a glitch happened to some players, causing them to see through Dark Vanguard's visor. This whole time, it was Headhunter in there. The glitch blew up on social media, and Epic quickly noticed, thinking, hey, people like this. So it wasn't long before we dropped into a future update and discovered outfits like Mission Specialist with updated styles. If you were around in Chapter 1, you'll know how funny the T-pose glitch was. Some people would spawn in lobbies and see others locked in a T-pose, and this spawned a genius idea at Epic Games. Hey, let's pretend it's not a glitch, but make it a feature. Within months, the item shop will be updated with the official way to T-pose, so now whenever you see it, you just assume they're emoting. 200 IQ. At the same time, players were still getting used to building. Obviously now the skill gap is ridiculous, but back then there was an easy way to protect yourself. By just placing a box and then ramps in each direction, you could build a small fort that covered every angle. It was one of the most popular designs for beginners, and everyone would use it to get started. And that's when Epic took this even further. They copied the exact design of this and transformed it into the Porta-Fort. Another thing that's been transformed in Fortnite is the city of London. That's right, you can now jump into a brand new experience made by Epic in collaboration with Zaha Hadid. She's an architect who made several iconic buildings across the world, and now you can make your own inside Fortnite. You'll load straight into the streets of London with multiple areas to choose from and get started. Using a brand new voxel building system, you can place different theme blocks to procedurally generate buildings in front of your eyes. From a range of office, residential, or commercial pieces, the voxels combine together to create shape bonuses and a whole modern building. As you complete your quests and discover more parts of London, you'll unlock extra pieces to place, but best of all, a bunch of XP for your battle pass. All of your progress is saved, so you can just load it up another time with friends and show them around before finding more NPCs across London. Jump in now using the island code on screen or search for Reimagine London and discover. Thank you to Epic Games for sponsoring this video, but now let's get back to it. When the Impulse Grenade was first released, Epic had an intention behind it. They wanted us to use this as a weapon, throwing it at enemies to launch them from builds or into the storm. Instead, players had a different idea, using the boost to perform trick shots. There was one problem with this. The Impulse Grenade had fall damage, giving you one chance to hit the shot before you get annihilated. A lot of people were annoyed about this and just wanted an item that let you trick shot. So instead of deleting fall damage, Epic came up with an entirely new concept, shockwave grenades. Now, ever since day one, we've known that Fortnite really wanted to sell popular emotes in the store. Even the default dance was copied from a show. Originally, they got away with this because legally you can't really copyright body movement. This idea kept them safe during dozens of lawsuits over the years. Yet Epic realized it was probably fair to actually pay the artists they were making money from. So, in a 180 decision, they stopped this entire strategy and invented a new type of emote, mode, the Icon series. This would buy dances from TikTok creators and actors, along with the song they were dancing to, creating way better emotes because of it. Not the only time they experimented with collabs, everyone was blown away in 2021 when Fortnite introduced their latest vehicle, the Ferrari. It was an instant hit, becoming the fastest car in the game, but also the most broken.
We're going! We're going! According to the laws of physics, that should not be legal.
The way you could fly around with this was way too fun to ignore, and players had a history of messing around with vehicles. From boosting around on the quad crashers to doing tricks with drift boards, I felt like everything was leading up to Fortnite's next collab, the Octane. And now you can do it all, and it wasn't a glitch. But did you know the most popular skin in Fortnite was a total accident? When Donald Mustard was in charge of the game, he wanted to make a joke skin that only had one purpose, to troll his brother. Since they were kids, Chad Mustard hated bananas, and growing up, Donald would always prank him with banana-themed gifts. Then, when Fortnite blew up, of course he had to take it further, working with Pete Ellis to create Peely. It was just meant to be a troll, but fans loved it. They never expected Peely to become one of the most famous skins of all time, and to this day, there are still constant reskins to keep his popularity going. But there's a feature absolutely no one expected to appear. When they woke up one morning in Chapter 3, Fortnite was the most broken it has ever been. For whatever reason, Chonker's tires were insanely overpowered. Throwing them at anything would send it flying, including the Foundation's massive statue. This instantly became an iconic day, one that fans would always cherish, and to capitalize on that nostalgia, Epic turned it into a fully functioning item. Now sure, you couldn't launch entire POIs into space anymore, but the Shockwave Hammer had a cool hidden ability. Oh my gosh, it worked! That is devastating! When Fortnite first unveiled the guided missile launcher, it was immediately controversial. Becoming one of the most overpowered items of 2018, you could just blow up anyone without being in the area. Well, it wasn't long before Epic nerfed this into the ground. In fact, it became so useless, no one even used it as a weapon anymore. Instead, it was turned into an intel item, with players using it to find enemies rather than attack them. Turns out a recon item in Fortnite wasn't that bad of an idea, and helped to inspire features like the Falcon Scout, the drone that can discover players, tag them, even pick them up. A feature that was seriously an accident happened this year. Originally, the Paradigm was promised to be an exclusive outfit that you could only get in Season X. For years, they kept their promise, yet fans still wanted to get their hands on it, especially when she was becoming such an important storyline character. So to fix this problem, Epic had a better idea. Just re-release Paradigm with a totally new design. Maybe even cast her as Brie Larson to truly justify selling it again. A solid solution until Chapter 5 when they messed everything up. But one night the item shop updated and there she was, the OG exclusive Paradigm for sale. It was a complete accident, and at first Epic decided to remove this from everyone who bought it just to keep it rare. Then they realized that would be too much hard work and didn't want to lose the trust of players who spent their money on it. So they came up with a different solution. Everyone who was lucky to catch it could keep the skin, but OG owners would get an exclusive variant. Kind of a crazy situation, just like the time they truly messed up in Chapter 2. For the Alien season, they desperately wanted to come up with fun and original weapons, introducing us to things like the railgun. At the time, the idea of a gun that could literally shoot through walls sounded unique and fun. What Epic didn't realize is how it paired with their other new item, the Recon Scanner. Now, we could tag every enemy in the area, point the railgun at the ping, and get a guaranteed elimination. Already broken, but then players learned that it could shoot through the actual map. So we Recon Scanner right here, and we could see them underneath. This combo was one of the most broken features created by accident, but one of these innocent mistakes spawned an entire game mode. If you were around all the way back in Chapter 1, you'll remember Tilted Town. This was a rift zone which felt like a random experiment. Every POI in Season X had some kind of quirk. Well, Tilted's ability caused no one to drop here, forcing you to play the game without building. It wasn't very popular with players, and they kinda moved on. But this experiment would continue to intrigue the developers. So, in Chapter 3, they decided to see what no building would be like across the whole map. And so for 2 weeks, building was literally banned from Fortnite, and players surprisingly loved it. In fact, by the time building returned, half of the community were begging for a permanent mode, and so they got it. Some features really should have existed sooner, like when Alpine place, and Mogul Masters came to the game. For whatever reason, Fortnite thought it was a good idea to sell each outfit with a different country. It was really impractical and made no sense, so they went back to the drawing board and came up with a new feature: edit styles. Epic didn't have to put any effort into the most famous accidental update, rocket riding. Once players discovered you could jump onto a rocket and use it to fly across the map, Epic knew they struck gold. Total glitch, and yet there was no reason to fix it. So instead, Fortnite embraced this and allowed players to ride any items like mini shields. They were also inspired to create more traversal explosives like cannons. So if you remember this time, you'll also know about double pump. To this day, it is one of the most nostalgic parts of Fortnite, but this accidental exploit led to an annoying feature: shotgun delay. It even gets applied to regular weapons nowadays, forcing a swap timer on items like the witch broom. It is just like how one exploit affected every cosmetic back when skins like toy troopers were abused. People used it to blend into trees, causing Epic to intervene and change the outfit's color. That's not all. With customizable skins like the superheroes dropped, Fortnite probably should have known we would break it. Players created outfits with a single color, letting them blend into cars, walls, and take enemies by surprise. It was such a problem that Epic were forced to ban this, stopping you from using the same color as primary and secondary. At one point, Epic was working on a feature we never ended up seeing. They wanted to drop a new vehicle for skateboards, and it sounded incredible. This was leaked over and over again until the item had internal problems. They had to scrap it, but that didn't stop the idea from thriving. A couple months later, we'll be introduced to a new form of skateboarding, grind rails, letting us skate around with our feet. I love when fans get to influence new updates. Did you know that for the first season of BR, backblings didn't exist? They were actually a part of the skin, so you couldn't swap it out for a different one or create outfit combos. Fans desperately wanted to use different backblings with their favorite skin, so Epic listened. By season 2, these cosmetics were separated for people like Raptor, Alpine Aces, and more. It's been a core part of Fortnite ever since. Once again, a big thank you to Epic Games for sponsoring this video. Let's go check out the map. Okay, this is my first time in Reimagine London. Let's check it out. I've never actually been to London before, but if you're from there or visited, let me know if you recognize where we are. Let's check out the fast travel. Trig Wharf. Puddle Dock. Okay, let's check out Blackfriars Bridge. Nice. Wow, 2000 XP just for visiting. Wow. We're gonna make a creation here. Oh, you can just drag and... Okay, that's very cool. All the voxels. We're getting all the voxels. All right, let's restart. I feel like I added too many voxels here. Nice. Look at this. Beautiful sunset. We're gonna add a corner office right here with a park right next to it. We want a nice little outdoor area. What do we want to do next? Let's walkway. And then I'm gonna have another office right here because we want to capitalize on the view. Walkway, walkway, structure. And then let's do a structure. Can we do a structure right in the middle here? Just like that. Ooh, and it turned daytime. Okay, this could honestly be a lot of fun. If you guys want to check this out, the map code is on screen. Once again, thank you to Epic Games for sponsoring this video. Hope you all enjoyed. It's been Tommy, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.